On Diaspora Life this Friday, we are head over heels with food, and as such, we show you just how much a dream can become a reality as Kevin Onyona takes over the US with Kenyan and African cuisine.
When we started off, I was cooking and my wife was waiting tables. So this is the room where we hosted the president, Uhuru Kenyatta.
The coronavirus was crazy to us. We lost people.
It was an opportunity to go out there and share my culinary art.
Living out here in the diaspora, we miss that touch. Ukitaka omena, ukitaka obambla, ukitaka matumbo, everything. And it caters for all generations.
If you've ever traveled to another country for a long stay, then you've definitely missed Kenyan signature cuisine like ugali, chapo madondo, nyama choma, mtura, biryani, githeri, and many others. I know some of you go to an extent of carrying unga ugali, royco, coffee, and so forth, just in case you get that craving. Today, we focus on stories of Kenyan entrepreneurs abroad who are investing big in giving us a Kenyan dining experience from thousands of miles away. Hello and welcome to Diaspora Life with me, Pasil Telewa. We kick off with an amazing story of Kevin Onyona, a Kenyan entrepreneur based in the US who is the founder of Swahili Village, a chain of restaurants that specialize in Kenyan and African cuisine. Kevin established his first restaurant in College Park, Maryland in 2009 before moving to Batesville in 2016. His second restaurant, the Consulate in Washington, D.C., was officially opened by President Uhuru Kenyatta, and his dream is to set up 50 Swahili Village restaurants across the US. Chris spent some time with Kevin and filed this story of a village boy from Homa Bay County that is making an impact in the world's most powerful country, where pursued dreams become a reality.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll let you go quick.
Like many migrants, Kevin Onyona arrived in the US from Kenya with nothing more than a few dollars in his pockets, a burning ambition, and a big dream. Later, he'll soon realize that just ambitions and dreams weren't enough. What really counted at the end of the day was for one to find what one really loved to do and do it like nothing else counted. For him, it was cooking. This is one of DC's only black-owned fine dining restaurants. In fact, it was officially opened by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Unfortunately, just 10 days after it was opened for indoor dining, it was forced to shut its doors again because of the coronavirus pandemic. But as you can see, it's back in business again. Onyona nicknamed this downtown Kenyan restaurant the Consulate.
Hi Chris, how are you today? Welcome to Swahili DC. It's my pleasure to host you in this new location in downtown 1990 M Street, Northwest Washington DC.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
For more than 10 years, he's been working towards here because he envisions Swahili Village as a cultural and culinary hub for African diplomats and expatriates, the nearby World Bank, IMF crowds, and other internationally minded office workers. It will be one of the only upscale African restaurants in the district and one of the only black-owned fine dining establishments too. Onyona and his wife Lynn Onyona had invested $1.3 million in this restaurant. But again, because of the coronavirus, a lot of people are still not comfortable venturing into a subterranean dining room with no outdoor space.
I knew going in that there's one thing that I know I could do better than most people is cook. And I did this because every time I had a cookout at my house, my friend's house, people turned out very well and they left very happy. So I used to tell them, listen, eat for free now because I'm going to open a restaurant. I'm going to charge you a lot of money for it.
The restaurant business had been a long time coming for Onyona. He had never run a commercial kitchen when he opened the first location of Swahili Village in a small trailer-like space in College Park in 2009. And that was in Baltimore?
That was in Baltimore Avenue in Beltsville.
Yeah.
And then we moved it to a bigger location. Yeah.
This is almost 10 years ago when I first met Onyona. At the time, he was the head chef with a handful of workers and a small but steady clientele. The evenings were glorious, filled with love, laughter, and jokes as migrants, mostly from East Africa, remained about life at home and abroad. As you can see, between then and now, life has happened to this former seminary student who migrated to the US from Kenya in the late 1990s in search of that elusive American dream. On the journey to finding his dream, though, he will do odd jobs here and there to put food on the table.
Like I said, when we started off, I was cooking and my wife was waiting tables. That should just tell you. And we had both, just had our first child, and we both quit our jobs to do this. So there was that. I just went in deep, and I said, "Look, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to drown." But drowning is not an option. So I stayed on, and here's a dream now. And it was not easy. It was 10 years of very, very hard work. Sometimes I would literally sleep in the restaurant because we close very late, and you're tired, and you have to come back in early in the morning to start. So I had a small little mattress where I would just sleep in the kitchen and start again the next day.
But he loved to cook, and so he stayed the course, focused on his dream. A dream that would make him play hosts to kings, presidents, prime ministers, and as President Trump will say, dictators from around the world.
But like I said, I was happy doing what I was doing. It didn't feel like a job to me. It felt like a service to answer to the needs of Africans who needed a nice place to be able to eat good food and to be able to gather around each other and celebrate each other.
The restaurant business took off, and the restaurant upgraded to a bigger space in Beltsville in 2016, which attracted crowds from all over the region for its goat stew and deep-fried whole tilapia in coconut sauce, a staple of Lake Victoria where Onyona grew up. Then in May 2018, the restaurant suffered a significant damage from a kitchen fire. It took nearly a year to finally return.
So this is the room where we hosted the President Uhuru Kenyatta in the beginnings of this establishment. I would say it was just 2 weeks before COVID hit, and we literally launched the consulate, which is this restaurant, and 10 days later, we had to shut it down because of COVID. But here's where the president sat. This is his table where he sat with his friends and enjoyed our dining experience here. He was very, very happy to be here. In fact, he ate an entire platter by himself and his friends. And the platter has nyama choma, kuku choma, mbuzi choma, sukuma wiki, chicha, chapati, ugali, all that on this beautiful platter. And this is why he enjoyed it. And we just finalized a deal with the Tanzania embassy for a restaurant in Manhattan. Manhattan is going to be a lounge, a restaurant, ballroom on the second floor, and a rooftop on the top floor. Something like that in Manhattan is literally a godsend because they don't have anything. It's terrible that we don't have that kind of representation even in large cities like New York. So this was going to give us an opportunity to be able to launch New York. And then we have a location here in Tysons Corner, Virginia. That will be next year. Atlanta next year. Dallas, Texas next year. Houston next year. Ultimately, like I said, 50 units within the next 10 years.
And that's a promise. You said it's a promise you made to the president himself.
Yes, I did.
Uhuru himself.
Uhuru himself.
Speak briefly about that.
Yes. So the president was here last year. It was last year during the National Prayer Breakfast, and we hosted him And while when we were doing that construction, we were able to host him. We were not open yet, but we were able to host him and his guests from the White House to a dinner. And so we also used that opportunity to have him cut our ribbon. And during that time, he gave a brief speech and I gave a speech. And I promised him that I'm going to open 50 restaurants. And he said he would want to come and open the 50th one. So now I can't say that to the president and not do it.
That's
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And again, lastly, just very lastly, why did you choose this? This is prime location, brother. This is very, very prime. Why did you choose, especially here? Because when I was coming, I passed through the Kenyan embassy. There's the White House very close. Why did you choose this location?
Because I wanted to use this location as part of our own diplomacy. This is called the diplomatic corridor, this corridor where we are. The World Bank is a few steps away a few blocks away from here. The State Department is a few blocks away from here. All the embassies of of Africa are within this same corridor. And so it makes this place really prime, but also very expensive. But I wanted to speak powerfully and represent Africa and bring it and use our food as diplomacy as well.
The video or is
We
it?
love Swahili Village.
Oh, absolutely. It makes me miss Kenya so much. So much.
Awesome. So how many times have you been to Kenya?
I lived there for a year off and on, between there, Uganda, Somalia, and then I went back and visited in 2019 for about a month. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I've been everywhere in Kenya. Nairobi, I used to live in Gigiri. And then so Nairobi, Kasarani, Nanyuki, Embu, Kisumu, Mombasa. Been around. Yeah.
Wow.
Masai Mara, I watched the migration.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, had a blast.
Where is Meru?
Meru. I think this it's just like at the border.
No. Where is Masai from?
Masai.
I'm from Arusha, Tanzania.
Saa zingine waje huko kwetu lakini Wamasai ni wa kwetu.
No. You know what? This guy, Masai from this guy is so pretty.
Let me tell you,
what
people don't know is that Masais ran from Tanzania to Kenya. No.
Yeah.
People just assume.
Thank you.
No.
Give me 5.
Run from Tanzania to
Tanzania. Give me
Yeah,
5.
Kenya wanaingia Tanzania.
They're coming from Tanzania to Kenya. You know why? Because Kenyan people.
We have to compromise.
If you think you like this one, you're going to go crazy for New Jersey.
Awesome. Yes, so I've been talking to Kevin. Kevin is the proprietor of the Swahili franchise. As you know, if you live in America, definitely you know what Swahili Village means. This is a place, if you're missing Kenyan food, this is where you come to eat the best of Kenya.
Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing this. I definitely look forward to dropping by whenever I set foot in the US. In part 2 of this episode, we fly all the way to Pennsylvania, where the Kenyan community has come out to support one of their own businesses that was temporarily shut down following the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic. Dajuda's restaurant in Pennsylvania had closed its doors at the peak of the pandemic in 2020. But after lifting restrictions on indoor dining, the community has come out in large numbers for some fresh fish, nyama choma, and great conversations as friends and relatives connect again after a long winter season.
About 30 minutes drive east of the city of brotherly love, commonly known as Philadelphia, the Kenyan community in Allentown, Pennsylvania is coming out for the first time since the outbreak of COVID-19 to enjoy indoor dining.
My name is Chris Omalwa and this is Diaspora Life Show. Today here we are in Allentown. Allentown is in Pennsylvania and we're here to witness the launch of one of our Kenyan owned and run restaurants. After coronavirus, now the community is coming out and the Kenyan diaspora is coming out from the coronavirus and just now getting to open up. So today, what we're going to show you today is a new place owned and run by Kenyans, and also just to sample.
Supported by Kenyans.
Supported by Kenyans, exactly. Yeah. This is one of our. Ian, speak to us.
My name is Ian. We support Kenyan. We try to build Kenyan. That's all you can do.
The occasion is the official opening of Diaspora's Kitchen, a Kenyan and indeed an African restaurant owned by Tina Ochem Simba.
It's always been my dream to own a restaurant in diaspora and probably in Kenya in the future. I've been cooking privately and catering, but I just felt after COVID that it was an opportunity to go out there and share my culinary art with the world.
For Tina, COVID-19 outbreak was a big wake-up call.
I lost my job during COVID-19, and that's when it was a wake-up call that at any job you can be replaced any minute. I had worked with this company for 16 years. I raised all my kids working for this company. I went to college through this company. So I just felt it was time for a new leaf where I would be self-employed and to serve the community that I've lived in.
This is one of the organizers. Let her introduce herself. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
My name is Jane Addison. I'm a Kenyan living in Allentown, and we are running a restaurant here on Tillman, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The owner is called Tina Ochem, and she has done a very good job, and we are so happy to be here for a grand opening. You are all welcome when you happen to be in Allentown. Please come and enjoy our African food, our Kenyan food. There is tilapia, there is nyama choma, there is kuku ya kienyeji, nyoyo, matoke, name it. We have it all. Karibuni wote in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Tikons, yes. Please speak to us what's happening here today. I know I was with you in New Jersey, another Kenyan place, but today what's happening here?
Oh, today we're basically launching the first African-owned, Kenyan-owned restaurant. So we are basically trying to find a place where we can actually build and have people come out and actually eat. So we are actually serving African food. We are focused on more of just Africa, not just Kenya. And basically we're just trying to support business today.
Awesome. Benbo, this is your home ground, man.
Oh, mine. This
is KTN USA. Let's talk to us about what's going on here today.
Yeah, today we are launching our community restaurant, which is managed by our sister Tina. And it's the first nice community restaurant that we are eating African food, Kenyan delicacy. So we are here to welcome all our guests, like you from Delaware. We say welcome to Allentown and enjoy with us. And we have a team of friends around with us here.
Awesome. Benbo, speak to us briefly about how coronavirus has affected the Kenyan community in Allentown.
You know, the coronavirus was crazy to us. We lost people. Our friends in the community, we lost our neighbors, we lost our workmates, and it affected our business. Our places were closed, we could not get employees, so it was a very crazy thing which happened to us here in America. In fact, the Kenyan community, it was really bad. But now things are coming back. After this vaccination going around, we are picking up better again.
Beyond just dining and mingling freely as they sample their familiar dishes, the Kenyan community in Allentown is also here to support the owners of this restaurant who have consistently delivered Kenyan dishes to their doors as the coronavirus roamed the streets, leaving in its wake a trail of death and suffering.
So, Doug,
yes.
I know you live in Jersey, but we are here in Allentown, and Allentown has a very robust Kenyan community.
Yes.
Specifically, why have you come all the way?
Well, I happen to be one of the people that have sampled what Dajuda has to offer. She has the best dishes, and living out here in the diaspora, we miss that touch, ile chakula kienyeji. A lot of us try to, cook at home or get takeouts, but this is the authentic Kenyan cuisine. Ukitaka omena, ukitaka obambla, ukitaka, matumbo, everything. And it caters for all generations. I've sampled it It's been a work in progress for the last 2 years or so, and finally we are happy that we are represented in that field of cuisine. There's a lot of cultural types of foods around here. Kenya is one of the few ones that has not been represented, and we are happy. Tina has worked hard and brought us to this point.
This is fish.
Yes, this is fish,
Aka ugali hapo?
Aka ugali na pikwa.
Ungeita Mluya mimi bwana ndio tunajua kupiga hiyo ugali.
Sasa ulikuwa wapi? Si umekuja utupike ugali hapa.
Simu mapema.
Just like back home, the Kenyan community abroad identifies itself mainly along ethnic and tribal lines. They have many differences and disagreements that divide them. Yet, when the hour of need arrives and they are called upon to support one of their compatriots' ventures, they usually turn up in large numbers, just like they have done here today.
Well, we live in a niche society. Allentown, as you know, is quite diverse. So if somebody, one of the our community members offers something unique as Tina has offered today, I think we should take the stewardship and champion the business, be the #1 customers, because once Kenyans are the #1 customers supporting Kenyans, the rest will fall in place. So I think it comes naturally, Kenyans we have to support fellow Kenyans.
I need 2 fish, and then I need 1 wet fry, and I need 4 fries. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so you get number.
Because we need white fries. I know, nataka more. No, see white fry
Okay.
Unfortunately, we got to wrap up for today. Thank you so much for watching Diaspora Life. Join us again next week and every Friday at 8 p.m. on KTN News for amazing stories of Kenyans living abroad. If you have a story you would like us to share, please DM us on our social media platforms at diaspora_life or email diasporalife@standardmedia.co.ke. Remember, you can download Standardflix app for these and more stories from the diaspora. You can also follow me at Pasil Telewa on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok for some behind-the-scenes stories.